There are things in life that you know that you shouldn't do, but you do them anyways. Or there are goals that you have, but 3 days later you're wondering, why did I do this again? That's the problem that Beeminder tries to solve. And in this review, I want to walk you through how to get yourself set up in Beeminder so you feel comfortable committing to it, because there is a lot of anxiety about this. I heard about this tool for years, but it took me a long time to feel comfortable enough to try it, and my goal is to shorten that cycle so you can use this incredibly powerful tool to help yourself achieve your goals. My name's Jake, and this is Get Skill, where we focus on getting you rare and valuable skills. This week, we're working on being consistently productive, and we're using the tool Beeminder to help us do so. Let's get into it. Beeminder is a simple tool that charges you money every time that you don't meet your goal. It really just ends pretty much there. But what makes it special is the integrations and well-thought-out reminder system that goes into it that allows you to actually stick to the goal that you had in mind. And for the last few months, I've been using Beeminder. I've used it for 2 goals. One of them was a good success, publishing a weekly video on this channel. If you look back over the history, you'd see that I've been publishing more videos since I started than I did beforehand. Also, I've been focusing on trying to watch less YouTube, and that one's been a mixed bag, and we'll go into why that is and how I would change things if I was to do it again. We're going to just walk through the process of getting signed up to a goal, how it feels through that whole process, and how you can use that Beeminder tool to help you as effectively as possible. At the end, I hope that you feel comfortable enough with Beeminder to trust using it as a tool to help you achieve your goals. Let's start off with the obvious fact. It is irrational to not do things that you know that you should do. It is also pretty irrational to artificially punish yourself by paying money to help you achieve those things. If you were just perfectly rational, you just do the things and you wouldn't have to have any consequences for it. You just know that they need to be done. But humans regard loss as much more painful than gain. This is a concept called loss aversion. Most people wouldn't take a coin flip bet where heads would win you $100, but tails would lose you $150. That makes sense. Your expected outcome for that is in the negative. But the same thing is true if we flip that. If heads earns you $150 and tails loses you $150, most people still wouldn't take that bet because the value, that pain of possibly losing $100 as equal to or even greater than the $150 that they would gain. That irrationality of valuing losses heavier than gains is what powers Beeminder. So what does it feel like to commit to a goal on Beeminder? Well, unlike most to-do lists that I write down where it feels like it's more of a mental note to say, this is something that I think I need to do, Beeminder feels like I'm signing a lease for an apartment. If a to-do list is a stick of dynamite, Beeminder is a declaration of war. Simply having to consider how I'm going to measure that goal, the possibility of losing real money, and having to check on it daily or weekly makes me realize that each goal is a significant chunk of my life and I can only have so many of them. If actions speak louder than words, Beeminder feels like a serious action. So what's the process of getting a goal set up? Well, when you go to Beeminder, you're going to be asked to create an account, and then you can create a new goal. Free accounts are limited to 3 goals at one time. And when you first sign up, you're going to be asked, how are you planning on tracking the goal? This is probably the most important part. You have the option of entering data in manually, where you can log in each day or respond to an email to say, this is my data for the day, and Beeminder will keep track of that over time. If you are over your target, then you're not going to be charged money. If you're under it, you are going to be charged money. It's as simple as that. However, if you can, and where the real power of Beeminder comes in, is setting up integrations so you automatically collect data. You can use services like If This Then That, Zapier, and a bunch of other apps that you can see right here to track data automatically. The power of this is that you feel like you have a solid deadline that you can't cheat. With manual data entry, like what I did for trying to watch less than an hour of YouTube per day, I felt like I could consistently weasel further and further out of the rules until they felt meaningless. I didn't have a solid way to track that and commit to it because I was watching across a bunch of different devices, and some of it was for productive work and others of it was just for useless entertainment. So it was hard to track that and distinguish between what was what and report it at the end of each day. But this goal of publishing 1 video a week on YouTube, that's handled by If This Then That, which looks at my YouTube channel every single day and says, have I published a video? And if I have, and it's public, then it's going to add that automatically to my Beeminder goal, and it's going to automatically increase. So there's no chance for me to say, well, no, it's a solid commitment. And I feel like I've got a real deadline to get a video out every single week. Try to use automatic data collection as much as possible. But if you are using manual data entry, Beeminder does have what they call weasel insurance, which says that for every time that you derail or miss a day or anything goes wrong for any reason, they're going to demand proof of that, a doctor's note or a friend vouching for you, something that says, I'm not just trying to get out of this. So after you select how you're going to be entering data, you're going to be asked what type of goal you want to set. Beeminder has 3 options for free accounts: do more goals, lose weight, and gain weight. Lose weight and gain weight are exactly what these sound. You just track your weight each and every day and try to reach your target. Do more is the only type of jargon term there. Essentially, do more says just aim above a certain target. For example, my goal of publishing 1 video per week is a do more goal. I need to do more than publishing 1 video per week. So I can publish 2, 3, 4. I can shoot way above that, but I need to publish at least 1 video every single week, no matter what. As long as I'm doing more than that 1 video per week, I won't be charged a single cent. But if I drop below that, that's when the pledges start coming into play. It can start as low as $0 and be capped at $5, but the default schedule is starting at $5, being capped at $10, and it can go as high as $2,000 if you want. You are in complete control of that, though, and it only increases after you derail. If you never derail, you're never going to be charged a cent. That's kind of the beauty behind it. So there's a real consequence to it if you lose. Also, it ramping up further and further over time is a serious motivation, at least for me, to want to do things right now so I don't have to pay even more later on. So you might be saying, well, I don't want to do more, I actually want to do less. I want to smoke less. I want to eat less junk food. I want to watch less YouTube. And Beeminder does have a premium option of do less goals, but you can reimagine all of your do less goals as actual do more goals. For example, if you want to watch less than 1 hour of YouTube per day, you can change that to the number of days where you successfully watch less than 1 hour of YouTube per day. So that way you're tracking the number of days rather than the total number of minutes. That way you are just trying to increase that number of days and you don't have to pay for any sort of Beeminder premium. Once you're all done with that, now the real fun begins because you actually get to start doing your goal. The hard work kicks in, and you're going to quickly realize whether you want to actually stick with your goal or you aren't quite ready for that change yet. Because the beauty of Beeminder is that it's not going to let you forget about your goal. It's going to send you consistent reminders, and you are also going to be thinking about it because you're committing money to this whole endeavor. It's going to be on the top of your mind most of the time, so it's hard to forget about that goal, and then you have to make that decision of going, am I actually going to do it? Beeminder gives you a solid deadline. You know when everything is due in Beeminder. It says if you don't reach this target by midnight, you're going to be charged $5. And it is just hardline facts. Now, if you're entering data manually, you might be able to weasel your way out of that. But with the automatic data entry, ooh, does it burn. It's been 3 months of me using this, and I'm still painfully aware of every single day that I have to get a video out by. I know right now that if I don't get this video out by midnight, I'm going to be charged $5, and that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. The motivation comes from 3 things. 1 is that you are going to lose money. 2 is that it's going to go on your permanent record, and you're going to realize, oh, I did miss a week. And 3, missing that week is going to cause you even more money in the future. The combination of clarity around your goal, reminders of when things are due, and consequences, real consequences that increase in the future if you don't meet that, make a deadly combination that practically forces you to get the work done, or says, you know what, this actually isn't worth it. Beeminder quickly separates the optimistic from the serious because it forces you to make that decision. You're not going to want to volunteer to pay $40 a month for something that you don't really want to do and aren't consistently getting done. One thing to note, however, is that you can't quit the day of. Any changes that you want to make, like putting the goal on pause or changing your schedule, are going to take a week to take effect. So that way you have a lot of time to have to stick to that goal, and you can't just say, it's the last second, let me drop down the target so I actually reach it. No, you got to commit to it for the next week. Beeminder is a harsh mistress, and she's not taking any prisoners. She's for the serious person, and she's not going to take any last-second desperate decisions. That's the whole point, is that there are some serious consequences to it. So the last point I want to address is about Beeminder's technology, because there is that fear that what if something goes wrong? There's a bug in their system, they charge me $100, and then they refuse to refund it because I said you need to have proof for that. Well, Beeminder has been nothing but incredibly friendly, and their tech has been nothing but bug-free the entire time. The only bug I've encountered has been completely separate from their system, with another one of their partners not correctly reporting data to them. They were very concerned there was a problem on their end, and I want to state very precisely that there was not a single problem with their system and not a single problem that I have encountered since starting with them 3 months ago. Their software is well tested, it notifies you at the perfect times, and their support is amazing. If you're going to trust a company with this, Beeminder is a great one. They have the culture right, and their support is fantastic. Ultimately, Beeminder is one of the most powerful tools to help you be productive. And it should only be considered for people who are serious about their goals. If you're serious enough to be considering Beeminder, you're likely a little bit desperate because you've tried this goal on your own and you failed. And you're worried about putting money behind that. There's some nerves around that. And I would say that over the last 3 months, I've spent $15 on Beeminder, but those $15 have taught me more about what goals I'm ready for, what goals I really want to commit to, how to commit to those goals, and ultimately gotten me more results than $15 I could have spent on pretty much any other source. I wish I had started this sooner, and ultimately, I hope that you feel comfortable enough with Beeminder to give it a shot. In short, Beeminder made me serious about my goals, and I hope it's going to do the same for you. This has been Get Skill, teaching you how to be consistently productive with Beeminder, and as always, thanks for getting better.